Hi. I wanted to make a video about our spirit, our path, and if we need to self-realize by being secluded, like going on a path, going on a journey, or can we find ourselves while we're in the midst of our life, our family, our children, work, life balance? Do we have to feel the need, like most people have done, to escape the reality, escape life, to find an enlightened path? I just want to start by giving some proof and getting the proof out of the way. When I was on life support, when I had my near-death experience, I I was going through self-realization in depth. So what I mean by that is I was everywhere and anywhere I needed to be, where I wanted to be, intentionally, consciously. How do I know this? How do I know that I have this ability, or that we have this ability? Came to me so many times, but an example, give you a good example, is that I was dead. I was on life support, and they didn't know whether or not I was gonna wake up brain dead or vegetable paralyzed. They didn't know when I was gonna wake up. During that time, and I know this because it's documented, and that's what they were talking about, and that's what they told me, and the doctors told me afterwards, and they talked amongst each other as well, with family and people who were talking with the doctors. I was having my journey, and at the same time knowing that I had a neck brace on that was stopping my airflow. It was irritating me and my neck, and I came back into my body, and I personally took it off because I couldn't verbally tell anybody. I couldn't tell anybody to take this off of me or I'm gonna die, because as my spirit was out in the universe, if I came back into that dead body, there was gonna be no point if I couldn't breathe, if my body shut down. So my spirit knew to come back into my body, and I took out my neck brace, and I left again. I left. When they opened up the curtains and saw me, they saw that my neck brace was off. That's when they started screaming and panicking. And I know this because, well, my mother and everybody was there, and they told me, and they rushed the doctors in, and they said that he's responding, right? So that's one. But before that, I did other scenarios where I was able to listen to phone calls. I was able to travel through the telephone pole, the wires and frequencies, and I was connected to the frequencies of the phone calls. So for example, a phone call was being dialed, right? So someone was making a phone call, and I would listen, I would hear the breathing of the person, the thoughts. And when I woke up off life support, I told that person, this is what you were thinking, this is what you were going to say. And then when you were speaking to that person, I traveled to that person's phone, having them pick up the phone and hearing what you had to say. So I was there in advance, in real time, and I was able to hear them pick up the phone and receive the message, and I heard them say what they said. I seen them gear into reverse, or park the car, talk amongst their families and say we got to turn around. And I told them that, and they told me the same thing, but they were in shock at first. Like, you know, when you see a ghost and you're in shock and you don't know what to say. Every time that I would speak this way to them, that's the reaction I would get. So where am I going with this? Is facts, right? I'm giving you guys facts, knowledge, truth, right? Like the truth about what we are, who we are, and how to get a hold of these abilities without going somewhere to reach these abilities. How do we get these abilities now? Did I have to die, to understand that? I guess so, right? But you don't have to die. You don't have to go through a near-death experience. You don't have to reach samadhi and enlightenment to understand that you are this. No offense, I'm not laughing at people who are going on that path, but you don't have to. This is for the people who ask, how do I find myself? Do I have to take that path? Okay, so now I'm here, I'm in this reality, right? I'm in this physical world. And if I want to meditate, if I want to connect to source, if I want to connect to me, I'm source, right? I'm a piece of the full consciousness of God, right? Energy. That's what God is. I don't know about religion and cultures and traditions, but I'm just saying the whole notion of what people created the word God, I believe, is just what we are, right? That's what we are. And it's been sugar-coated in so many different ways and watered down in so many different ways. But when I self-realized, I didn't need to take a path, a journey. So I had to die to realize, for me to be able to come back and tell you. So I didn't have the opportunity to be like, okay, so it's my job to come back and, I got to teach and I got to tell. No, like this stuff hit me whisper after whisper. I had to keep reaching these enlightenment moments and keep unfolding and staying on a path. I had to go through misery and failure. I had to learn that the misery and failure is a part of my journey. I had to embrace it. There's so much here to unpack. Please, if you have questions and you want to know specific things, these are the things to question me, right? People watch my podcast, or I've been invited for interviews and stuff, and they pick certain areas they want to learn about. So you do that for yourself to be specific with me. But I'll give you an example. My son, I'm not taking the credit for anything that I have helped and done for people. People have done the work through the guidance that I've given them, and they've been able to do it for themselves. So another thing that I've been able to help someone do for themselves is my family, right? So you don't say, I did this, I helped you, I changed your life. No, it's like I maybe opened your eyes for you to do it yourself, and now you have that understanding, that learning, that teaching. So now my son has this, my family has this, and my clients have this ability now to have this awareness, this conscious awareness so manifestation. I manifested, right? And my son manifested together, right? Because it took me doing the work for him to do the work, for us to both be conscious, aware of what we're strategically doing to get into Hollywood. We all as a family, right? So my son is in this famous, it has over 15 seasons show, but we just wanted the experience of him being on the show, right? So we could have been on the show and mindlessly just been background or cast or stand-in or whatnot. Just like we show up, be a mindless parent, and just Go enjoy. Doesn't matter how good looking you are, how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how talented you are. If you are just mindless, you are in your position. That's the position you play. No tricks, or no one's gonna come and grab you and be like, hey, I want you, you're the all-star, right? So you have to be strategic with your consciousness, with your intuition, with your awareness. So where I'm going with this is that the fact that we intentionally presented ourselves with a knowing in advance, like that remote viewing that I told you that I did, I go and I was in places and I come back. We're doing that all the time with thought and feelings and emotions alone. So with those thoughts, feelings, emotions, what you can do is you can take that feelings in advance, place it places, and strategically be aware that you're doing it by releasing and surrendering and knowing and trusting that that's what I'm going to get. So I did that, and I said in my mind, in my vision, and long story short, I'll help you if you want to come to me, be specific, and I can teach you and guide you. But long story short, we had the director tell the main person who is on the field, placing all the actors and actresses, the main characters, and had my son be in a main scene with the grandfather of that show and the granddaughter, the main characters, and he was on that show. It's not by surprise, but at the same time it's by surprise. That's the duality. That's the fine line between attachment and detachment. Other things, for example, with consciousness and awareness is enlightenment. What is enlightenment? You know, do we need to take on a strategic path? No. Mind, body, spirit connection. Cleanse your mind, cleanse your body, cleanse your soul. We have heard this time and time again that we come here as beautiful divine souls and we're gentle and we're pure. No, we're not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sent here as students. Our souls are students sent down here into these vessels, into these bodies to learn. So we're tainted. And then we come into this world and we're lost. And then we become more tainted. And this is what's going on with you and me and everybody. That we feel lost, stuck, worried, stressed, anxiety, depressed. And what we need to do is listen to stories and truths without facing the consequences and going on those paths. We can understand and practice what other people have walked and preached. Put it into practice. Cleanse your soul, cleanse your body, cleanse your mind. How do you do that? Fast. What do these gurus and enlightenment people do? They fast, right? Do you have to go on a mountain and fast? No. You can be where you are and fast. Meditate. Do you have to go in a cave and meditate? No. Meditate where you are. Meditate mindfully, constantly, at all periods of time. While you breathe, meditate, think. Understand that your thoughts that don't serve you are not who you are and what you are. Let that go. Release those thoughts and feelings and emotions and doubts and concerns by knowing that you're just the awareness engaging into that. So think of your conscious thoughts, but know that you're separated from them. You're the awareness. You're the awareness. So that's how you separate the two. You are taking your awareness into your thought, and now you're being mindful of that. So if you are doing that, now separate the two and be more in tune and in control of that spirit in you, the awareness. That's the tool. That's the key. It's in you. You have the master key. You're just not using it. You're being victim of it, and you're going places with your mind that it doesn't need to go. So that's how you start this practice. Okay? You start this practice like that by cleansing yourself, right? Doing these practices, and you start being aware of your awareness and your thoughts, and you start engaging in proper content, and you start just living a better life, a better path, and you correct all pattern, cycles, and karmas. And what do I mean by that? Is if you have a pattern and a cycle that keeps repeating in your life, change it. Change it in real time. Use the tools, the awareness. Once you do this practice, it takes time, but it's all worth it, and I can help you through the process to make it faster, to quantify your experience, quantum jump reality, and live in the here and now. Have your future self come into the present moment and start living in the now, today. Don't wait for more experiences and circumstances to unfold for it to become more karma, cycles, and patterns. Fix and change all the things. So when I saw my life flash before my eyes, I seen all that, and I had that awareness. But then now we're here, and we lose it all. Now we tap back into it. We're losing ourselves. Find ourselves. Find yourself, right? These, they're called fungus gnats that come from plants, house plants, fly around. I like working with people who are engaged in specific, that find an area and say, oh, right there, I want, no, and then how, what do you, like, what do I do? And then they ask specific, and then I'm like in tune with that person's vibration, and then they want that teaching, they want that. That's what gurus, that's what you do, but it takes years, because these gurus don't pick into your brain, you're picking into their brain. Well, no, I'm no guru, but I'll pick into your brain for you, and I'll be intuitive for you, and I'll help you defragment yourself to reach and declutter all of the things that's happening in your life. That's what I do. And I will put links up for you to see live sessions or mirror talks, but you need your own experience. You need to go through your unfolding, your process. We need to remove your karmas, your cycles, your patterns, and then when I teach you how to manifest and attract, then you can start doing that. You know, you could do it, and then when you do it, you could do it for your family, your kids. You could do it in real time. There's so many truths and facts and examples that I can give you, that I don't want to talk and blow smoke, and then you'd be like, oh, I'm going to give you real life, practical, tangible tools and examples of what's happening. Here's another one. I was told that bleeding in the brain, or a healing of a scar, or a drill in the a hole in the skull, or a bone being broken, or a fracture, or a collapsed lung, or nerve damage and muscle tearage, or the paralyzedness on your body, takes a certain period of time to recover and heal. Like everybody's been told, right? Like every experience is different, right? But in real time, if you were to catch a cold, okay? If you were to catch a cold, and you know that that's ridiculous. I can't heal that in one day. I can't heal that in like 2 days. I know the cycle and the pattern and the karma. This takes me like a week. I know I lived my life. Not you. You haven't lived my life. I lived my life, and I know because through the years of my life, whenever I catch a cold, it takes me about a week to recover. And I know that. I take Tylenol and Advil and Neocitrin, or I make a concoction, a healthy organic or a cleanse, and I know the process. Well, I've gone through these, and I've practiced them on strategically, intentionally. I worked with my pain and suffering, with pneumonia. I've contracted it numerous times over, every season. And I'm not talking you wait like 6 months. Every 6 months, yeah, I caught pneumonia. But there was a time where I caught it every 2 or 3 months, and I was contagious. I was always taking Tylenol. I was always consuming fruit juices and Advil and Neocitrin, and I was always taking these remedies or pharmaceuticals, and it's been 10 years that I have not taken any Advil or Tylenol. Okay, there's the hook. I have not taken any Tylenol, Advil, or pharmaceutical for 10 years. Why and how? There's a step-by-step process of healing and self-healing, just like I told the doctors that, well, no, in my mind I said, no, I don't believe you, I don't trust you, and you have to trust yourself. Once you believe the diagnosis and you give them the faith, then you're done. I didn't do that, so please let me help you, and don't let anybody tell you, right? What you are, who you are, how long you have, or what's going on with your body. Yes, doctors can go inside, which they did to me. So if there's that person out there calling me out, call me out, but I'll answer you right now in advance that, well, they do know best. They go into your body, they'll check your nerves, they'll know, what's going on. That's what they did to me. My veins, my nerves, my tendons, my body, my muscles. And they saw everything, and they gave me facts. So yeah, you're right, okay? Person who's calling me out, yes, you're right. But then on top of that, I healed it in advance than what they were telling me the process was. So when I would show up every appointment, they were baffled. They were confused and lost for words, and they didn't know what to do. They just trusted me because I told them what I was doing. So they just believed in me. And it's not called ego. It's called something that we can do. We don't allow our bodies to regulate or function properly. We get so comfortable and into this belief system that you are hungry. You wake up in the morning, you're so hungry. It's bullshit. What if I told you that's a lie? People would cause a fight with me like it's happened in real time. Somebody in my home would get argumentative and say, well, this is my body, this is my brain, this is my heart, this is my stomach, I know my connection. Well, sometimes your gut and your bacteria and your pancreas, and if you don't have a connection, you're lied to. You fall victim of your feelings and thoughts and emotions all the time. So how can you believe that you're hungry? Just because you wake up in the morning, you're hungry? Well, fight that. That's the things in life that we're not doing. Fighting past the things we believe. What is belief, right? We don't know what belief is. We don't know these things. So I'm telling you, practice it. Practice killing your old self, right? Killing the old paradigms, the belief systems, those notions of I wake up in the morning, I'm hungry. It's afternoon, I'm hungry. I have to have lunch. It's evening, I have to eat. What if I told you that's bullshit, right? What if I told you that I can create and develop my body muscular, become very muscular? I can gain weight in 2 weeks, 50 pounds. What if I told you that? What if I told you on the flip side, I could lose that 50 pounds in 2 to 3 weeks? What if I told you I can become, we can regulate our system so that we don't have to suffer from the cold. We don't have to suffer from temperatures. We don't have to suffer from, you know, ice water, like cold water. Like, how can you be taught that? You think just those people who are practicing it, like Wim Hof and people who have done it for years, can do it? You can do these things. And I'm not talking to the people who are knowing this stuff already. I'm talking to the people who are looking for secrets and answers that don't know it. That it takes a process of discipline. You have to go through this process of discipline to trust yourself, to let go of the old, to kill off old cells, neurons and nerves and blood, and fight through the suffering, endure it, to be able to reach higher levels of awareness. Our cells have memory, our body have memory, our skin has memory, but what are we doing by trusting in the old self, saying, I'm hungry, we gotta eat. What is that connection with your mind, body, spirit? What is that connection with your mind, body, spirit? Right? Okay, so once we do all of this, once you start changing your patterns, your cycles, and your path, there you go. You are on a journey of becoming enlightened. Believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, knowing your powers and your abilities. And woohoo, you didn't have to go on a mountain. You didn't have to take a certain type of drug to reach those higher levels of awareness. You didn't have to go on a retreat. It's simple. And then you can tap into yourself, go into your body, send signals out. How many times have you missed someone, trusted in somebody, or wanted to connect with a person, a particular person, and you feel the feeling so bad? Then next thing you know, it might have taken a few days or a week, but you cross paths with that person, or that person calls you or reaches out to you. What do you call that, right? And then these moments happen in your life, but then you forget, you dismiss it, you ignore them, you lose your belief system. And this happens to the best of us. You lose your belief system, the trust and faith in what you've accomplished, what you're able to do. You've reached these pinnacles in life, and then something happens in your life and you lose faith and belief, right? This happens to everybody. Well, I'm glad that I got to throw a bunch of stuff in there. I get off topic, but it's all meant to be. It's all for a reason. If someone wants to pick one piece of it and talk about it, like manifestation, and what do you mean you were talking about this and you did it, and then you got your son to do it, and then it happened, was that just by chance? Like, anyone could have been selected, or how did you do that? I have been able to teach this to someone else, how to remotely, I don't know about remote viewing. I'm not a scientist, okay? I don't teach it the way those specialists have taught it that work for the government or these special projects. But you know what remote viewing has done for me? It has been able to help me teach someone else how to do it, how to get any job that I wanted, any interview that I wanted, any position that I wanted. I wanted to become a director of sales. I've never reached that pinnacle in my life. I got an interview. I wanted to prove to myself, so I got that role. I mean, I didn't get hired, but I got that opportunity to at least prove to myself that I can do that. I've never been a manager. I've never ran a big warehouse, what do you call it, franchise warehouse, and run over 30 employees. I became a manager of that whole department store, and I never did that before. And this was all me just testing my abilities after I died. We have this ability. You have this ability. I died in 2010, and I chose to come back. I chose to come back. And if someone wants to ask me, well, what do you mean by that? Or, what do you mean about this? Or what do you mean about that? Those are the questions I love. Because when someone speaks truth, they have nothing to hide. They're not going to choke up on their words. But when someone is living a life of fraudulence and lying, they choke up on their words, or they lie to themselves, and they get further away from themselves, and they become tainted, full of ego. And those people are out there, right? So what is your truth, right? Find your truth by calling out your lies. You're fraudulent. You're tainted. Stop saying, no, I'm not. I'm not tainted. Start looking at yourself and say, I am tainted. I'm a fuck up. And when you do that, then you can seek the love and the bliss and the joy and the forgiveness. But the people who do it backwards and give you the love and the meditation and the woo-hoo stuff and the healing inner child stuff up front in the beginning, but then you're still struggling, and then you say, well, that did heal a part of me, but there's other parts of me that I still... If that specialist worked with you from the beginning, and that's what's missing in therapy. I'm going to be straightforward. In therapy today, what's missing is that dynamic of helping you, holding your hand, listening to you, feeling you, but also being that mentor and coach and calling you out on your fraudulence, showing you what fraudulence is. The lies, not just saying, okay, let's heal this, you're good now, okay, you smile, great, you go. You dismissed everything, every process and every step of the way. These are the steps that people need so they don't keep going back, coming back and being lost and losing faith. Guidance was never given to me. So I think I know that I think I'm here to just give you the guidance, because I guided myself. Nobody held my hand or hugged me or loved me or babysat me or coached me or mentored me or inspired me. So that's what's missing. I had to die to realize that that's what's missing in my life and other people's lives. And that's why I'm here to do it for you, because you're searching for someone, or you've never been helped or guided properly, right? So, and you're trying to do this for yourself. That's what guided intelligence is. That's what you need, right? You need to guide yourself, right? But how? That's what's missing. So, reach out to me and let's see if we're the right fit. Because some people aren't ready to change. They're not willing to change, and they have too much walls and resentment and anger and ego to hear the words, you still can fix this. That's going to hit you, right? So if you are at a point in your life where you're ready for someone to tell you like it is, then I got you. But if you're not, then you won't be ready. You won't be ready ever. That's what happened to me. I had to die. I had to hit a house 100 kilometers an hour for all my ego to vanish and not be I think I was the toughest guy walking around. I think everyone was scared of me, or that anger, that frustration, that judgment, that 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 fraudulence in me had to die. So don't wait to die. Don't wait for worse things to happen in your life. Just take it with a grain of salt. I'm gonna give you some love and stuff too, but then if you're willing to take some pressure, that's what we need. Take it from some of my clients that will say, like, yeah, it was hard, like hearing those things, and I could see it in their face, but that's how you reach the bliss and the joy and the happiness, the true fulfillment. What is true fulfillment, true richness, is when you can go through the pain and suffering with that richness and that true love. Okay, well, I have so many videos I could be making. I haven't made one in a while, so I just threw it all in here so you could pick the best part that you want to discuss. Okay, have a wonderful day, and God bless. And no religion or tradition or culture there, okay?